Welcome. We bid you welcome, John Clauser, Johnny Metal, the Metal Dad, coming to you from a music corner of the world. And we got somebody in a blind rage over here, John the Music Nut. How you doing, my friend?
Doing great. How about you, my friend?
Man, I'll tell you what. Mike Ladano from Grab a Stack of Rock. How we
Happy
doing?
afternoon, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Afternoon.
If you haven't
Welcome, Mike.
fit, yes, it is always good to have Mike on with us. And yeah, and as he was alluding to with his prop, Up to the Limit, episode number 14, we talk about the third album with Mr. Mark Tornello, Blind Rage. And Mike's got the Japanese import, which I am guessing that is that's the one with the extra track on it. But we will get to that in just a moment. So let's look at this thing. August 15th, 2014 is when this baby comes out on Nuclear Blast Records. The third album, again, with Mark Tornillo on vocals and Andy Sneap behind the computer or behind the production desk. We have one single and one single only, Stampede, released came out before the album came out, July 11th, 2014. Let's see. Let's see. Favorable reviews again, pretty much like the last couple of albums have been. Nothing unusual there. This won a 2014 Metal Storm Award for Best Heavy Metal and Melodic Album. So there's that. Let's see what we got with the chart action for this baby. Austrian charts, number 18. Two different Belgian charts, 46 on one and 48 on the other. I'm not sure what the difference between the two are. Danish charts, number 11. Mike, we got to talk to you people up in Canada. There's no Canadian charts about this one. I don't know about that. Finnish charts, numero uno. French charts, number 48. Zejana charts, numero eins. I don't know how to say number in German, but anyway, Hungarian charts, number 2. Norwegian charts, hello, Paul and Ove Rendum and a few other folks. Ivan, number 19. Scottish charts, number 65. Spanish charts, number 39. Swedish charts, number 16. Swiss charts, number 9. UK albums, 85. UK independent albums, 15. UK rock and metal albums, number 9. Billboard 200, this went up to 200 or number 35. So this did well. Don't know again. We're 2014, so just because it went to number 35 doesn't mean it sold hundreds of thousands of copies in its first week or so. So I wish I would know those. I would love to know those numbers actually. But anyway, so and this is also going to be the last album that has featured this particular lineup in this particular thing, as Herman Frank would go off after this tour, and Stefan Schwartzman would also leave. So as we start with all of these, when we've had all these different guests, Mr. Ladano, your point of entry into Accept, and then we shall let you do your thoughts and takes on Blind Rage.
This is a funny story, and I'm glad I get to share it with your audience. But my point of entry with Accept was a song by the name of Balls to the Wall. And it was on a compilation called Masters of Metal, Volume 2. And my next door neighbor, George, was, I think, 3 or 4 years older than us. And he was a bit of a know-it-all. Like, I'm the rock expert of the neighborhood. And Steve Harris is the greatest bass player of all time, and I'm the expert, and I said so. And when we heard this song Balls to the Wall, my buddy Bob says, "Do you think this sounds like AC/DC?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, that singer, he could totally pass for AC/DC." And then we said, let's test George out, see if he knows who this is. Test out Mr. Expert, Mr. Rock Expert. So we called him over, we played Balls to the Wall for him, and we said, "Do you know who this is, George?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's AC/DC." We just jumped on it. We were like, "Grr, got you. Finally got you." And it was just this moment of triumph. And then we saw the music video and we saw Udo for the first time. And I was like, who is this guy? Like, I've never seen a metal band with a guy that looked like that before. The short hair, the camo shirt, which was all the rage at that time. Everybody was wearing camo. And there's this one shot that I think is so comical where Wolf gets his flying V and he kind of fits his flying V right over Udo's head. Like it just fits right into the slot of the V. And I find it so comical. Like they were playing around with Udo's stature in a comical way in this music video. And fell in love with the band. Didn't quite understand them, but fell in love with the band at that point.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think these stories about how everybody watched that Balls to the Wall video, I don't think that's going to get old.
No, it's so like I said, it's comical and it's all about Udo's stature.
Oh boy. But yeah, so this is and this one so this album comes about 21 years later. So
Right.
take it away,
So
Mike.
I guess I want to try something a little different here because I made some notes and then this morning I actually was writing up a text review of this album, Blind Rage, to post on my blog, and it's much more detailed. So I'm going to attempt to read that, which is, it's never easy to read something you've written because you don't speak the same as you write. But let's get going. Let's give this a try.
Okay.
We'll start with Stampede. Stampede is the quintessential opener. Breakneck speed, but with melodic harmonies on guitar. Wolf Hoffman certainly knows how to write riffs and guitar melodies. Mark Tornillo is in great voice, growling low before he hits you with tough screams, but punctuated sparingly. I find it a tad generic with that shouted Stampede chorus. It's a little cookie cutter. We've heard this kind of thing before. But the screams and the tempo make this song worthwhile. A winner. Now we get to Dying Breed, and I am sorry to say this one's a little bit cringeworthy when it comes to the lyrics, although opinions may vary. As Johnny Klauser knows, some people differ on lyrics like this. We talked about this with a certain band called Tough. But there are some lyrics here that, well, let's just read them, okay? Long ago, a Sabbath black cut through the purple haze, screaming with a vengeance that we will forever hear. The Zeppelin led its voyage through the skies of purple deep, and in a land down under, a highway to hell was paved. An iron fist cut the deck and drew the ace of spades. I'm sorry, guys. That was a little hard on the voice, so I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. But I don't like that kind of lyric. I really don't. I'm sorry. I am on record for disliking these kinds of references within lyrics. Fortunately, Mark sings it with conviction, and the song itself is pretty awesome. We're the last of the dying breed. Guitar melodies are very much like a national anthem kind of sound, and it's an ode to let's hope metal doesn't die prematurely, I guess. As we lose many of these guitar heroes, we are the last of the dying breed. Um, Lastly, Wolf throws in some classical influenced guitar thrills, which I think helps compensate for the lyrics. Now, the best song on the album, in my opinion, is the desperation drenched Dark Side of My Heart. Melancholy metal with a stunning chorus. You can't help but sing along, and all this is augmented by stunning guitar melodies by Wolf. Accept always keep things moving, but it's so much better when it's melodic, and this is the most melodic song on the album. The first slow song on the record is track number 4, Fall of the Empire. It takes a little longer to sink in, but the chorus is, I keep repeating this word, I'm going to have to revise my writing a bit, melodic. However, Accept's penchant for those low-pitched gang choruses is already starting to wear on me. Wolf's solo here is really different, with a nice dry kind of tubey sound on his guitar and some really unusual melodic choices. Crank up the afterburners for Trail of Tears, a song about the trials for the Native American. Who are the savages now? Asks Tornillo. The drums by Schwartzman are phenomenal. Another high-speed blur of modern metal and one that sticks in the brain after you finish listening to it. More classical influences can still be heard in Wolf's melodies. Guitar harmonies take center stage for Wanna Be Free. Slower, more deliberate, dark, and with a message. No more crime and poverty. No more human trafficking. Fairly simple, but that's often the goal with these kinds of songs. Keep it positive and not too political. Although the guitars are always enticing, this might be the first one you feel like skipping. Moving on, nuclear war is always a hot topic for metal bands ever since Black Sabbath popularized it in the 1970s. In 200 years, nuclear war has devastated the planet to population zero. 200 years after mankind. We're back to the Stone Age, just as prophesized. As Albert Einstein is often attributed the quote, I do not know with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Great topic, great song with a neat little exotic interlude by Wolf in the middle before the solo. Now, skip worthy. Bloodbath Mastermind. It's just generic metal. It bangs, but there are no exceptional hooks. Pass. I think the album could have lost one song, bring it to an even 10. Ear fatigue starts to set in on From the Ashes We Rise. It repeats the grooves that are already becoming monotonous on this album. We realize now that my Japanese 12-song track listing is just too long. We could have just a simple traditional 10 songs easily. From the Ashes We Rise has melody. Bloodbath Mastermind does not, so I guess that's the keeper of the two. It sounds like a knockoff of another song in the album. A good knockoff, but a knockoff nonetheless. Back to quality. The Curse is a little bit more unique and focused once again on melody. It's a little somber, which is a nice change of pace after so much defiant headbanging. There are some memorable hooks and different from the rest of the album, so I'll call The Curse a highlight. The closing track on the standard album is the priest-like Final Journey, the guitar solo of which creatively features a very recognizable melody lifted from Grieg's Morning Mood. This is a good closer with lots of tension building in the guitars, but the Japanese closer is Thrown to the Wolves, which is fine. It's like many of the album tracks. It's plagued with generic riffing and melodies. Has another one of those shout along choruses. Thrown to the wolves. Dun, 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 dun. You know, it's interchangeable with some of the other songs. Catchy enough, but not unique enough. So, in sum, I would say Blind Rage is a solid album, but accepts repeated use of certain elements, such as those low pitched choruses, makes some songs really hard to remember and differentiate. Again, I made a note here. There are probably 10 keepers of the 12 songs. Not a bad album by any means, but the formula sets in, and it takes many listens to really separate the songs in your mind. A little editing would have been wise. And yeah, that's the written review that I'm going to post most likely the day after the show airs.
Rock and roll. Out of 10?
3.5 out of 5 is what I wrote, so that's a 7 out of 10.
Okay. That's admirable. Nothing wrong
It's
with that.
admirable. I'm critical of these things, but it wasn't a bad album. Like, I'm enjoying the album.
Yeah.
I came out of there feeling great. And I can't say it's a 3 out of 5, sorry, a 6 out of 10. I can't say that. I don't feel that it is. That sounds like a poor grade to me, and this isn't a poor album, but it could be better. And as you and I talked about a little bit earlier off the record, I think different producers add some more dynamics, and maybe Andy Sneap is overstayed his welcome, but that's maybe a topic for a few albums down the road.
Could be an interesting topic for something down the road. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, sir. All right. John the Music Nut.
Okay. I echo a lot of the same sentiments that Mike does. So I'm going to try not to repeat, but the lyrics that he quoted were some of the same lyrics I quoted that I wrote down. Stampede, we got a kick-ass driving opener, slow burn, 4 kicks in. Strong opener, not their best opener, but they usually start out their albums pretty hot. Nice lyrical solo from Wolf here. We got those great screams from Mark. Strong opener. Dying Breed, I like a lot. I like the name checks on here. I like the sentiment as it being a tribute to our fallen hard rock and heavy metal heroes. Great chorus on here. This is a popular track that they play live. It's their 31st most played song. Stampede is their 25th. I like this song. I think this should have been the single. Dark Side of My Heart, I also like a lot. First of several singles, or I'm sorry, songs, where Mark sings in a softer voice during the verse, and then it builds into the loud vocals during the chorus. Very melodic. I love the guitar lines in here. Great chorus on it. Nice vocal melody. Nice use of space in the chords as well. Fall of the Empire, we're going mid tempo here. We got the Teutonic vocals as well as the soccer chants going on. This is decent. I like it. I don't love it. Trail of Tears, same meaning as the Wasp song, but it's a different song. This riff reminds me of Den of Thieves by Lizzie Borden. I was about to say Thin Lizzy. In the riffs and the delivery, it reminds me of Den of Thieves. As Mark indicated, I have Stefan playing up a storm. Fast paced, very strong musically, even if it does sound like Lizzie Borden. Wanna Be Free. Now, here, like Mike, this is where I start to lose focus on these songs, even though when you read the lyrics, lyrically, this is a strong song. We're talking about the current wrongs in our society, pointing an attack on them. Lyrically, it kills. It's never been played live. It's a good groove. The chorus is okay, but yes, overall, it's okay. It's decent. 200 years, very graphic lyrically, tough and heavy, solid. Mike quoted the lyrics that I have written down. Bloodbath Mastermind. Yes, I agree. It's riveting and reckless, but I've heard this before. We finally have a bridge. First song with a bridge. And we actually had a small one in Stampede too. And it works. Musically, it sounds like we've heard this before. It's heavy, it's well played, but it doesn't stand out. From the Ashes We Rise. I wrote this again. It's okay, but again, I think I've heard this before somewhere. We're just repeating ideas, although lyrically, we're talking about moving forward, battling struggles, and trying to find our way back. It's decent. I love The Curse. Mid-tempo song about people who are the forgotten, the solid, the quiet. We don't give them the attention anymore. Now it's all about sensationalism, all about being controversial. I think it's very melodic. I love the idea of this song. I love the lyrics. It's very melodic. It works very well. Final Journey so far is my favorite closer from the Mark era. I'm not saying that it's Bounce a Fail or Princess of the Dawn, but it's very good. Wicked closer. Yes, we're quoting Morning Mood by Grieg in the guitar solo on this. Well written lyrically. It's about how we always face our last journey alone, no matter what has gone through our life until this point. Very strong opener. Most played song live off this album. Musically, very, very strong. The songs themselves, yes, after a while, they get a little samey. And I was talking about that on the previous two albums with Mark. And yes, Andy Sneap's at the helm again. So that's given us more of a sameness in the sound. And like Mike, I give this a 7. There you
Okay.
go.
And we're just going to whip through this. We haven't gone through this in quite a while. So yeah, I'm really like you guys. Musically, there's not a whole lot different from that separates this from Blood of the Nations or Stalingrad. So we're seeing a lot of same territory. They're getting comfortable,
Yes.
working together, and they're really finding that sound. That I think that Wolf's probably been wanting to find. So the only notes this all I'm going to throw out here with my stuff here. So Stampede. As I was reading through the lyrics, I was like, where not to be on the running of the Bulls day. That's how I looked at it again. When you look at the cover, I mean, to me, I don't know, uh, one of those kind of life sucks you in, and you just get caught up in the race. And sometimes that race comes a little too hard and too fast at you, and yeah, and you wind up getting stampeded over. I don't know. This felt like a little bit of a almost a priest-like song to me. I feel like I hear a little bit of it, priest-like opening, but it does transition into that accept sound with all the usual fun goodies that comes along with um all the accept goodness. Dying Breed, loving tribute to the founding fathers, good chord riff rocker. I counted one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine different references to bands. If I missed one, I apologize, but there might be more. I love the lyrical solos. That again, the chugging chord riffer. I think it's a good song. Um, Dark Side of My Heart's probably I kind of think is just one of my favorites. I kind of like this. This one's really standing out. It's like I looked at the lyrics as how the heart can be so cold when you allow others to come on in and kind of, when you allow those people to come in, sometimes that can come with a price. And yeah, I kind of like the little twist on the Up to the Limit opening. To me, that's kind of where it sounded. So you hear again, it's kind of like what you guys were talking about. We have a lot of familiarity in the music here. So they're kind of, they're taking some old riffs and just kind of changing a few things around to make it work. Um, let's see. Fall of the Empire, War Waged, Where Do We Stand? This was kind of another standout for me. I liked Mark's voice and the vocals in the chorus. Uh, Perfect solo, I thought, with the subject matter. Trail of Tears, hey, we've been taking it easy a little bit here, so now it's time to slap you around and wake you up again. Um, Again, like John alluded to, again about the Native Americans here. Shortest song on the album at 4 minutes and 8 seconds, not counting the Japanese bonus track because I know that was a little shorter. I just don't have that one, but yeah, 4 minutes and 8 seconds. All these songs come in about 4 minutes and to about six and a half. So there's a lot of fat that probably could have been trimmed off of some of these songs, but this one definitely has no fat because it's just such an aggressive song. It helps you burn fat off. But anyway, I love the harmony solo parts. I thought was nice. Want to Be Free. Now, you guys were talking lyrics, so let me throw a few lyrics out here. Young girl in a darkened room crying all alone. When I first heard that, I thought, gee, I wrote a song called Scars Too Deep to Heal that starts off with a quiet, darkened room, a girl sits alone. And I thought, and of course I did that in 1995. I'm like, interesting. I've never played the song from Mark Tornillo, so how would he know about that? But again, I think there's a lot of poignant lyrics here. Again, you talk about the human trafficking and just the homelessness and addictions and just different. I thought, it really just about the horrors of life. And there's a lot, and there are a lot of them out there. Yeah, I thought strong one. I enjoyed this one. Again, because I recognized the personal matter from it. 200 years, you guys already talked about nuclear war riff pounder. Perfect Mark vocal for the song. No, yeah, not much to add there. Bloodbath Mastermind. I don't know. I didn't mind this one quite so much. I said so much Wolf goodness in this song. I guess I just liked what he was doing with the solos and everything. 6 minute banger, just about absolute evil. But again, yeah, a lot of familiarity in the riffage. From the Ashes, uh, what is my saying? Yeah, beaten down from war, but a new day is coming. Mid-tempo rocker, melodic passages, great chorus. Yeah, not much to say about all of these. The Curse, I like this one. Longest song on the album. Uh, again, know what to trust, what to believe in, but doing right will prevail. But boy, it certainly comes with its hardships. So that's a strong message there, again, like the melodic rocker, fits the topic. Final Journey. Wow, this I didn't get to I got to tell Mike before we got on air, but I didn't get to tell John before we got on air. So this the last couple of days as we were recording this, this song really kind of took a different meaning for me. Um, it's a this song about we all know death is coming, and that journey is a solo ride, and boy, I just listened to the lyrics differently because Friday night, this past Friday night, I have a great aunt who had passed away, unfortunately, and we
Hmm.
knew it was coming. She was 99 years old, and God bless her, she had a full, rich life, and but and maybe but I was really sad to hear about her passing because I was actually getting ready to go to another event, and when I heard that news, it just kind of, like I said, we knew it was coming, but it still really kind of crushed, and I because I think about her, and she was the type of lady that on her door, she had like a note on her door kind of thing where if you see me lying on the floor or something along that line, just don't don't call ambulances or whatever. She was the type of person that she was like, I there's just please let me go in peace. Don't feel like you have to come and bother me. And she was just determined to ride out her life alone type of thing. But anyway, so that was it's not to bring it down or anything, but yeah, so that song took a an interesting twist for me. So the last couple of days, but yeah, I'm with it. I'm with these guys. 7. I mean, I could go higher. This album was a little easier to listen to on repeat than Blood of the Nations and even Stalingrad to a point. Stalingrad was a little easier. This one is still getting easier, but again, I think that bludgeoningly heavy Sneap production just gets very hard to do repeat listens without some time and space. That's kind of how I walked away from this one. So there you go. So John, cheer us up with some tour dates.
Sure.
Now that I brought the mood down here.
Okay, 98 dates,
Ooh,
only 6 in the United States.
wow.
And they played every song off of this album at one point or another,
Hmm,
except for Trail of Tears and Wanna Be Free.
hmm,
Now, some of these they played The Curse, they only played 3 times. Bloodbath Mastermind, they only played 3 times. And a lot of these didn't last into the next tour they would do. But I mentioned Dying Breed and Stampede and Final Journey. You still hear, particularly Final Journey, you still hear today. And the couple of the others, like Dying Breed, you might still hear them do live when they're playing as a headliner. But they started at the Woodstock Festival, no, not in Bethel, New York, and Kostin, Poland. And then their next show was September 11th, 2014, at the Belly Up Tavern in Solana Beach, California. Also on the bill, Metal Church for the Generation Nothing album,
hmm.
and Raven right before they would put out Extermination.
Ooh, nice.
They'd also play Count's Vamped Rock Bar and Grill in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Gramercy Theater in New York, New York. Then we go to Europe, and we go all over Europe. Concert in Congress in Linkoping, Sweden. Most of these dates, the opening act was Damnation's Day, who were promoting the album Invisible to Dead. On some dates, we also had Battle Beast as the opening act, promoting their second self-titled album. Amagar Bio, Copenhagen, Denmark, Torunda, Tornio, Finland, Debaser Metis, Stockholm, Sweden, Rockefeller Music Hall, Oslo, Norway, Docks in Hamburg, Germany, Trick Zaal in Burgerhout, Belgium, Razzmatazz, Barcelona, Spain, Les Bikini in Ramonville, St. Agny, France, Live Club in Trezzo Ada, Italy, Live Music Hall, Cologne, Germany, Euronics Halls, Linz, Czechia, Diffoso Zermatt in Budapest, Hungary, Z7 Concert Fabric, one I've mentioned a few times, in Pratin, Switzerland. Then they go to Japan. They play the bottom line in Nagoya, Japan. And they played a couple more dates in Japan. Then they go to Australia. Factory Theatre, Sydney, Australia. Corner Hotel, Melbourne, Australia. Then they go back to Europe for the Forum in London, England, Forum Palace in Vilnius, Lithuania. They go to Moscow, Russia for Anafest, Rock Cafe in Tallinn, Estonia. And at the end of this year, this would be the last date they do in 2014. This is when Stefan Schwartzman and Herman Frank would leave the band. Welcome in Christopher Williams on drums and Huey Lewis on guitar in 2015. We played a House of Blues in Chihuahua, Mexico. We play in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I forgot to write the name of the venue. Opening for Judas Priest. We play in Capital, Hanover, Germany. Huxley's New Welts, Berlin, Germany. Gagarin 205, Athens, Greece. Bunska, Bristica, Slovakia. And we got Metal Days in 2015, Tomla, Slovenia. Sea Rock Festival in Unterprinstaten, Austria. Alcatraz Metal Festival 2015 in Kortrijk, Belgium. Then we go to the A2 in St. Petersburg, Russia. And we play Teleclub in Yekaterinburg, Russia. And we play Prime Hall in Minsk, Belarus, as well as Rayjust Arena in Moscow, Russia. Those 4 dates will comprise the Restless and Live album that was released in 2017. Then we go to the O2 Forum in Kentish Town, London, England, Arena Romain in Bucharest, Russia, Herstal Butev Hall in Sofia, Bulgaria. Then we go back to the States. And now we're March 3, 2016. Yes, a long tour, but they're taking a few months off here and there. At Badlands Pawn Gold and Jewelry in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And then we play Teatro Vorterex in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and Teatro La Cupola in Santiago, Chile. There we go.
Ooh.
No Canadian dates.
No kidding.
No Canadian dates.
No Canadian dates.
So it
Yeah.
didn't chart here and they didn't tour here. Wonder if there's a correlation or not.
I would say so.
Yeah, maybe. And hardly any, well, just other than Mexico, hardly any North American dates, which is very interesting. I just wonder if it was just that time period.
Could have been.
I mean,
and even the places they were playing were smaller venues than they're playing now.
yeah.
The pawn shop.
Yeah, the pawn shop, gold and jewelry.
Yeah.
Sorry, but this is the best I can do for you. I can't get you Madison Square Garden, but this is the best I can do for you. So
Yeah,
for all your Pawn Star fans out there, that maybe you'll get that joke.
I got it.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, wow, interesting stats for this album. So it did seem to do well across the world. So who knows? But hey, it was the mid 2015s, and just I don't know, a lot of stuff just wasn't really coming around a whole lot. Maybe I don't know, but there we go. Well, so we kind of really ran through Blind Rage a little bit here.
I'll just let y'all know.
Like a
Yes.
bull in a pawn shop.
Just let y'all know when this first came out, there was a 2-disc version.
Oh,
It was it was a DVD, Live in Chile 2013. So you got a concert here on the DVD here. So, and this was a concert from the Stalingrad tour, and this is a kick-ass live show.
ooh,
And
do
they
tell.
hit Yeah, I mean, and they're even hitting some deeper cuts on here, like Bulletproof from Objection Overruled. And you're hearing Neon Nights on here from Restless and Wild, and they're hitting a lot of the Mark stuff. And interestingly, on this tour, this was the first tour where they were actually playing more Mark stuff than they were Udo.
Hmm.
And but yes, this is an excellent. If you can get the two disc, the CD DVD version,
Yeah.
it's definitely worth the purchase. I got this at the Gallery of Sound
Yeah.
in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. So there you go.
Yeah. I just have just the single CD version. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I may have to track that one down. Thank you for letting us know about that.
Mhm.
Um, so there you
I
go.
I'm also impressed that they played almost every song live. Like that's got to be a rarity for a lot of these legacy bands.
And the thing was, a lot of them they were just testing out, but there were a lot of shows they were playing about 5 or 6 songs live. Like for a lot of shows, we got Stampede, Dying Breed, Dark Side of My Heart, Fall of the Empire, Final Journey, and 200 Years. From the Ashes We Rise, I think came a little bit later. The Curse and Blood Map Mastermind, they tested out at a few shows and then they didn't keep them. And they were
Yeah,
the last times those songs were played. But more often than not, they were playing 5 or 6 songs
that's
per
awesome.
night from Blind Rage on this tour.
Very cool. And I think that's the second time you mentioned that Le Bikini place too.
Yeah,
They obviously like that place. Maybe they just like it for the name. I don't know. But
would be.
if anybody's out there, because that you said that's in France, right? Or Italy?
Yes.
France? Yeah, if anybody knows about that place, please say something in the comments. I'd love to hear about this place if you know if you're familiar with it. So, all right, Mike, what kind of stuff do you want to throw out and plug?
Well, let me see here. This is going to air in a couple of weeks, I guess. I guess
Just
maybe I'll plug stuff that's going on in 2025. Harrison, the Mad Metal Man, and I are going to be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the formation of Iron Maiden, and we're going to be doing every album. And I don't mind saying that we're taking a page from you guys, and we're going to be having Harrison be the music nut on our show, and he's going to be the one who's in charge of set lists and tours. And we've got special guests lined up. We have some guy, Johnny Klauser. I think he'll be
I don't
joining
know who that
us.
I don't know who that idiot is, but
We have some other people that might be from Australia. We might have some Canadians, some Americans, but I'm hoping for just a really good run through of all the albums, and I'm hoping I don't burn myself out doing it. So that's coming in 2025, if you can believe it, the 50th anniversary of the formation of Iron Maiden.
there you go.
nice.
Yeah.
No, well this will air December 4th. So you just had some nice conversations with Archie Gamble from a drummer from Helix for a little bit.
Yeah,
And
and he
so
dropped some sweet stories about Kiss. He opened for Kiss on the convention tour. He was in a band called Alive, and he's got some sweet stories about taking Eric Singer out to a lap dance in Montreal. So definitely check that out. We had Grant Arthur as co-host last week. So
Nice.
oh boy. Yeah, you know there's trouble when that happens when they start talking about that kind of stuff. Oh
yep,
gosh. John,
and
what
apparently there's more. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
the part three is coming. Oh boy.
Yep.
Gosh, John, what kind of stuff's going on the Music Nut program?
Okay, Thin Lizzy Thursday came out this past Thursday, November 28th. I reviewed Thin Lizzy's ninth album from 1979, Black Rose, a Rock Legend. I also have an album after episode out there right now on Alanis Morissette's supposed former Infatuation Junkie album. I also have a top 10 albums list of 2000 that's out right now. And we'll be continuing the Thin Lizzy series this coming Thursday, December 5th with their 1980 album Chinatown. So there you go.
There you go. All right. So good stuff to check out. I that was a great episode on the Alanis Morissette
Thank
album.
you.
It's interesting because I didn't get that album, but I remember the video for Thank You. And if y'all don't believe me, just go watch the video on YouTube on for that. So it's just like you forget what the song is about and you forget the meaning behind the song because you're too busy just looking at Atlantis the entire time in the video. But anyway,
He's not wrong.
no, he's no. And I'm ashamed to admit that. But anyway,
That's
yeah.
everybody's reaction. Everybody had that reaction.
Yeah, it was a different sound though from Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah.
Because I was a fan of Jagged Little Pill, but yeah, life changed and I just didn't never got that album. But yeah, no, that was a great take on that album. But
Thank you.
so yeah, a lot of good stuff to check out. Of course, with me, I just got the Mortification Monday, and I'll have by the time this comes out, the 8 album track ranking will be brought to you by the letter E this time. So there you go. So that will have been up, and I feel like I feel like there should be other things that's coming up, but I don't think it's until January. So maybe Grant's giving us a little break with with the Rock Warehouse stuff for a while. I don't know, but anywho, so there you go. Y'all go check out Mike's interviews with Archie Gamble, and everything he's been doing. A lot of great stuff. And if you haven't liked, share, subscribed to John the Music Nut, please do so. Check out that Thin Lizzy Thursday. It's making me needing to say, okay, I need to go back with each episode and then start listening to these records and maybe even and read the book he's part of from Martin Popoff. So, which I don't have handy, but there you go. There you go. Honesty is no excuse. So
Yep.
he takes part in that, and you were in that too, Mike, right?
I was not.
You were not. Okay.
I was not.
My
No.
bad. Didn't mean to give you credit for something you weren't a part of. But anyway. Anywho, so yeah, great stuff. Of course, with me, you know the deal. Like, share, subscribe with me. I just hit 600 subscribers, so I'm scratching my head at that. So, but I'm thankful for that and looking forward to keep going with this. But next week we'll have a little bit of chaos because we're going to be joined by Metal Roger, and we
Oh,
and we always know what kind of chaos he tends to bring. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing, but I think we'll have some fun with Roger next week. So we'll see what the rise of chaos brings into us. So for Mike Ladano, for John the Music Nut, John
Thank
Clauser,
you, Mike.
Johnny Metal the Metal Dad, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe to all of us if you haven't done so. Rock forever, y'all. We'll see y'all next week when we rise up some chaos. Take care, everybody.